How can I stop getting interrupted in meetings? Sometimes I just want to say my point really, really fast and then shut up so that I can get my voice heard. And the other one is, Ursula, you know what? There's so many loud voices in the meeting. I don't know what's the point. I actually just rather would not say something. And that comment goes against everything what this tribe stands for. Hello and welcome to the Confidence Tribe podcast, where I am Ursula and I'm on a mission to help you be seen and heard with impact so that you can grow in your career and in your personal life. Doesn't that sound good? Now, if you're like me and you're absolutely obsessed with communication skills and strengthening the muscle, I'd love to invite you to go check out my online digital course, Communicating with Confidence for Leaders. Juicy, yummy modules and exercises, tactics, articles, everything for you to strengthen your communication skills. All right, today's episode is all about the most popular question I get. There's this one question that keeps coming to me. And so it shows that this is something we should focus on. The question is, Ursula, how can I stop getting interrupted in meetings? Or Ursula, sometimes I just want to say my point really, really fast and then shut up so that I can get my voice heard. And the other one is, Ursula, you know what? There's so many loud voices in the meeting. I don't know what's the point. I actually just rather would not say something. And that comment goes against everything what this tribe stands for. This tribe stands for the fact that your voice matters and it has an impact and you need to be heard. So I've got you covered. I've got you covered with 5 strategies to not only get your voice heard, to also get your voice heard in that empowerment and that confidence that you are. And there might be some nice tips and reminders for you to really get your message across. So here we go. Here are the 5 strategies. The first one, and I know I'm guilty of this one too, is just replace the I think statements. I think. I think doesn't have the gravitas that you want to have in the room. So instead of I think, state, these are the trends that I'm seeing. So you can say, what I'm noticing is, I'm noticing this. I've seen a pattern. The data is showing a pattern of one insight that I've observed. So change the I think to I'm observing, I'm noticing, I'm seeing. Because that has more resonance of confidence and intentionality than just somebody who thinks something. So that is a very nice way for you to swap all your I think statements. I'm observing. I'm noticing. The next one is to lead with curiosity and not certainty. What does that mean? Okay. When you want to say no to something or you want to kind of turn something down, you're not agreeing, or something is very new, go into, instead of maybe defensiveness or shutting things down, I want to invite you to always go into curiosity mode. And curiosity mode sounds like this. It sounds like, I'm curious about the impact of that. Those are the words. I'm curious about the impact of that. The other word you can use is, help me understand. You can ask somebody to talk me through what that looks like. I've done this one. I did this one the other day. I asked someone, can you just talk me through what does that look like? And they talked me through what that looked like because I couldn't see. They were explaining this thing and I was not agreeing with them. I was going, I can't see how this is going to happen. And so I said, just talk me through exactly how that's going to happen. And they did the replay. They spoke me through it. And then that person said, actually, this doesn't make any sense at all. Let's scrap that. It's so evil, but it's so good. So you can really, if they have to back up and play it back to you, sometimes they'll realize for themselves. And you just led with curiosity. Let's be curious and let's talk through this. Another one, perhaps you want to bring an idea to a meeting where it's a little bit out there. And you know how it feels sometimes to share bold ideas that other people haven't considered and it's out of the norm. And those are the ideas that we usually go quiet on and we hold back. So what you can say is, I'm curious to explore what this thing would look like. So you're not saying this thing is the thing that's going to be amazing. You're not saying we have to do this thing. You're going, I'm curious to explore this. Hey, let's explore. Let's go on this wild ride and see and explore, and there's no attachment to outcome. So that's when we don't have this attachment to failure and it's going to sound embarrassing and blah, blah, blah. Those are the things that keep people so stuck, so silent, so small. Let's just explore. And then you get into that energy. Victoria Labalme, she also always says when you want to express an idea, you need to remember that ideas, they evolve. There's an evolution to ideas. It's a very nice line you can use to express your ideas. You can say, hey, this could be the idea that leads to the idea. Aha. So when you say that, the idea that leads to the idea, you're saying you're open to play with it. You're open for this to evolve. You're open for somebody else to take the idea and take it to the next level. That's growth. That's innovation. And you frame it like that. You frame it with that curiosity that this idea could lead to an idea. And then we're not so attached and you don't feel so rejected when that idea that you had didn't land. Okay, so lead with curiosity, not certainty. We don't know. We don't know, but let's try it out. I'm curious. So try that line next time. The next is to be really clear. Number 3 is name your intent up front. So give what you're talking about just a label. Say, I want to talk about, or what I'm going to share next is blah, blah, and blah, blah. Be very specific and clear about it. Now, Mark Twain, he's got this great quote. I love it. It says, I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I wrote you a long letter instead. Let's unpack that. I didn't have time to write you something short, concise, to the point. So that's also in your preparation. You get concise and to the point when you've done your homework. So say that up front. Lead with that. So for those of you who've said to me, I just want to say it and shut up. Like, I just want to get my point across. Just be really impactful in how you bring that across. You could even, if you know that you're going to disrupt, you're going to throw a curveball, label it. Say, this might throw a curveball in the road. Let's explore it. So it limits, it takes away and diminishes that thing's ability to feel like a curveball to everyone, because you've already said, hey, this is a curveball. Then everyone's like, okay, now they go into their emotional resilience, and people are emotionally resilient. Let them be emotionally resilient by telling them, hey, I'm going to throw a curveball. Hey, I'm going to give you bad news. And then you pause for a second, and then you give them the bad news. So just say what you intend before the time. So rambling. This is number 4. Ramble. Don't ramble. Don't go into the ramble. Have you ever done this where you're not quite certain, and so the more you talk, you just go down, because now you are overcompensating for the fact that you're figuring out what you're saying. Now, I've got a friend, we send each other like 10-minute, 15-minute, sometimes 18-minute voice notes. How long are your voice notes? We love a voice note. But it's in the ramble where we get to chat with each other as friends. Sometimes I say to her, I state my intention up front. I say, Trudy, I am going to just express a lot right now because I'm still making sense out of this. And thank you for holding space for me. I share my appreciation before the time. And then I kind of speak it out, and it helps me get to a point of clarity. And that's the thing. Sometimes we have to talk through our points before we get to the clarity. But in the high stakes situations, whether it's a meeting or a pitch or a presentation, that's not the part where you want to do the ramble part. That's the part where you've already done the ramble behind the scenes, and now you've got the clarity. So who's your buddy who you can send 15-minute voice notes to, and they get you, and that's a safe space for you to practice. Or perhaps another method is for you to journal about things. That's another great way just to get it out on the page. Crystallize your thoughts before the time so that you can very easily speak in points. And that's how you speak in points. You say, hey, I've got 3 points. Here's point 1, 2, 3. And when you find yourself rambling, because we do, I've done this, you find yourself rambling, you can go, and to bring me back to the point. That's how you get yourself back to the point. To bring me back to the point, and then you go back to the point. And everybody knows, oh, this is the point. Because if you go down too many pathways, we lose the point and we lose the people who are listening to us. So have that clarity and know when to stop talking. That's a great one. Another thing you can do when you find yourself, you're talking, you've lost all the points, you're talking, or maybe you're just talking, ask yourself the acronym, it's called W.A.I.T. W.A.I.T. Why am I talking? So when you find yourself in those moments of talking, let's go, wait, why am I talking? So powerful. So good. And this gets us. W.A.I.T. is getting me to my next point about listening like a leader. Listening. Now, I have this question for you. Who do you think is the most powerful person? The person listening or the person talking? It's the person who's listening. Why? Why is the listening person the most powerful person? Because they're receiving all the information. You are giving me all the data. You're revealing yourself. You're revealing your stuff. It's giving me negotiation power. It's giving me leverage. I am receiving. So let people talk, receive, listen, hear them. Also, listening is so powerful because when I really listen to you, I make you feel seen and heard. And when people feel seen and heard, that is like the biggest gift you can give them. And that is the best way to build a relationship. And that's the best way to do business. And that makes people want to do business with you and build relationships with you. And that is the voice and the sound of a leader. Someone who listens and make other people feel seen and heard. That's so powerful. Now, there's all these tactics and things you can do to be a great listener. And you've read them in the little Forbes articles or the LinkedIn posts. They sound like this, like nod when somebody's talking and lean in and open body language. And you can do all those things and they're great. Real impactful listening is when you also speak in labels. This is the part where you respond to what somebody has said to you. And a label sounds like this. You use the words, it sounds like, it seems, it sounds, it seems, it looks. It sounds like, it seems like, it looks like. And then you play back what they've told you. So when somebody tells you about their day, running after the dogs and the weather and the this and the that, and you can say, it sounds really stressful. And to be able to say that it sounds stressful, or it seems exciting, or to start playing back and labeling the information they gave you, you have to really, really listen to somebody. You have to listen to the subtext. You have to listen to what they're not saying. And then you label that. And that makes people feel so heard and seen. Because not only does your voice matter, but their voices matter too. And that's a gift you can give someone. And real leaders know how to do that. So to lead your troops, to get your people in, make them feel seen and heard. You can do this on your clients, potential clients, colleagues. It shifts things. So the superpower is listening. And there you have it. And if you have the superpower of listening, then you make sure that people in the room have their voices heard. These are great tools that you can use in your next meeting to get your voice heard. It takes a bit of work. So the go-to strategies is leave the I think, drop the I thinks, rather replace it with what I'm noticing, I'm observing. Then lead with curiosity, not certainty. I'm curious about that. Or can you play that back for me? Let's explore this. Name your intent up front. Hey guys, I'm going to throw a curveball. Hey, I've got bad news. Name it up front. Be clear and then stop talking. Get to the point. Do all the rambling before the time, and then listen like a leader so that people can really, really feel seen and heard. So which one of these strategies, only one, you only need to do one, which one are you going to use next? Because this is the muscle that you develop. And the more we do it, the better we get at it. So perhaps you're going to hear yourself say, I think. Swap it. Or perhaps you can start listening more and label conversations. Let me know which one. And if you enjoyed this, if I gave you value, all I want to ask of you is follow. Follow and become a confident tribe member. So happy to have you here. And please give me your feedback. I always like, do you like the studio? Because I think the studio rocks. I think the microphone rocks. What do you like? What do you want to know? Ask me your questions. So great that you made it to the end of this podcast.